I'm Tay.
I'm Tosh.
Welcome to the Mom
Interrupted
podcast. We're here finally.
Finally, if you only knew how hard it was for us to get here.
A lot went into us being here, and I'm not just saying that. Yeah, we worked through some audio stuff, lots of naps amongst 3 children and 2 husbands that also wanted to nap.
But alas, we're here. I know, must be nice.
No naps for mom.
This is our first episode.
We tried once.
We scrapped it.
Learned some things. So now this is for real our first episode, and it's been a long time in the making. We thought of this maybe a year ago. Lots of babies happened, and finally babies aren't attached at the boob every minute.
Speak for yourself.
We're here. We made
it.
We made it, but we should go into what we do and who we are and
what we do.
Which
is wiping a lot of doo-doo.
Oh God, this is how we're starting.
Sorry.
We're super professional.
I can't help myself. So we want to start with obviously introducing ourselves. So why don't you start? Who are you?
Okay, so I'm Taylor. I am a mama of 1 boy who is 20 months old. His name's Kelly. I grew up with a mom who was a doula and childbirth educator for most of her life. It was always in the back of my head, okay, maybe I want to follow her footsteps. I'm not really sure how or when or what that looks like. And when I got laid off when I was pregnant, I was like, maybe this is a sign to fully dive into this world. So I finished some of my certifications. I got interested in doing lactation education, counselor training with UCSD. And I started teaching. Currently, I'm teaching mamas and new babies educational courses here in San Diego twice a week. But my biggest role is being a full-time mama all day, every day to a crazy, crazy toddler. So that's me. He is me.
Yes. Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
But Taylor's super badass. She, went to college, did the corporate thing, and then, like she said, got laid off and was like, maybe this is a sign that I should do something I'm more passionate about. So that's Taylor.
That's me.
Me, on the other hand, I have a 3.5-year-old boy and a 6-month-old girl. And I did it before almost anyone I knew. And I was like, whoa, this is intense. I just had no idea. I was working a corporate job. I had been out of college for, 5 years or something. And I was like, yeah, let's have a baby. Like what? Like it's hard? And I quickly learned that it was hard, and I just found myself questioning if other people felt like it was this hard. And I quickly learned that everyone did feel like it was really hard, mostly. And I just wanted to be a part of the world that helps moms and babies. It doesn't have to be this hard, but the setup that we have makes it that way. I had no background in it. I had a bachelor's degree in science. I thought I would maybe go to PA school or nursing school or something like that. It just didn't work out. I was done going to school. But then I had a baby. It was COVID, so weird stuff. But I did the same lactation education course as Taylor. So here we are. We want to help moms. We want to be there for you.
And we talked so much about we have this background, what do we want to do with it? Mm-hmm. And there's so many different ways you can go. And I think a really big thing for me is accessibility. And I feel like there's so many courses you can seek out when you're pregnant, but postpartum, it's a lot harder to seek those things out because you're going through a lot of things physically, mentally. I was questioning, how can we reach more people? Right. Everyone is struggling, and education is such a big part of it, and so is support. You can build amazing things through podcasts because people can listen to them for free, which is just invaluable. And we want to make that more accessible for everyone.
Absolutely.
Did you go to courses postpartum? I rewatched Game of Thrones 3 times, and that's pretty much
what did I do postpartum?
What I did.
The first time I cried a lot. The second time I was busy running after a toddler. No, I didn't take any courses postpartum. The only course that I took was an infant care course, but that was when I was still pregnant, like a newborn care course. But when I was postpartum, I was just in it.
Yeah.
And alone.
Yeah.
And too exhausted to even, when you're in that state, you're just too exhausted to even help yourself.
Yeah.
I couldn't even spend time researching, because.
So we Google.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Right.
Stop Googling. I'm a recovering Google addict from when I was postpartum. It's a long journey, a long road. I just feel like moms are constantly Googling in their rooms alone in the dark while they're breastfeeding.
Oh my gosh, with the sound machine on.
And 400 things are coming up from experts, and it's all conflicting things, and moms don't know what to do.
Right. Because no matter how many times you've done it, no matter how many kids you have, no matter how many courses you've taken, there's no such thing as an expert, because every baby is different. Every mom is different. Every family dynamic is different. And so when you Google something, unless it's maybe a safety thing, you're never going to get a black and white answer. I'll tell a story real quick. My sister-in-law one time Googled, she's pregnant and she's looking, to be healthy. And for whatever reason, she looked up tortilla chips, and there was some study that she found that said that tortilla chips cause developmental issues. And I was like, you can find anything on the internet. You want something to be true, it's on the internet, and you can prove it some way. Yeah. Someone has said it. There's some study. There's some expert.
Always.
But call your doctor. Call your mom friends.
But I even have things to say about that, because we've talked about this. At the end of the day, your intuition does matter, and just knowing where to go and where is reputable and getting all the information from all sides and then deciding is the only way forward, because no matter what, in each profession, there's bias.
Yeah, well, and there's gray area.
I go to my doctor who says something totally different than another doctor. I've had to switch doctors because they told me things about breastfeeding that I knew were incorrect.
Right.
And I switched.
Right.
So you just have to be, and I'm lucky I knew that through our training as lactation counselors.
That's the thing. You have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. But what do you think?
Right. Well, and you have to do what feels right to you, right? Yeah. It's one thing if your doctor says something and that feels right to you too, and you're like, my doctor said that, feels good to me, moving forward, right? But it's another thing if you're like, my doctor said this and like it makes me feel really uncomfortable, or I saw this on the internet and I don't know, but everybody agrees, right? It's okay to not think the same as everyone else. You and I don't always agree on parenting choices.
And we like that.
Of course. It's good.
I tend to be a little crunchier.
I'm getting crunchier as time goes on, but still in different ways.
Different ways. Yeah.
I think we should talk about how we met and tell everybody.
Yeah. How did we meet?
How did this begin? This began in the 7th grade.
Oh my God.
We were 11. We went to the same middle school.
We were in Hawaii.
Yep. We're both born and raised in Hawaii.
So Tosh and I kind of lost touch like college time.
Yeah.
But then we all would go home at the same time, and it's like nothing changed. Yeah. And then I feel like us Hawaii girls that moved to California, we all latched to each other.
Oh, and just got closer than ever. Yeah.
And then I remember actually seeing you after maybe a few years in LA to get coffee. Do you remember that?
I do.
You texted me and you were like, I'm going to be in LA. And I was like, I have not heard from you in so long.
I was like, do you want to get coffee?
And we had so much fun.
We had a girl date. We had ourselves a girl date before girl dates were in. This was like, I don't know.
When was this?
15 years ago.
No. Oh my gosh.
How old are we? No, this was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago. That's still a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving it being like, why did we lose touch?
It's just so hard in college.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, you were on the East Coast. I was in a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just happens. But I was like, I still want to be friends with Taylor. So
yeah.
Can't get rid of me that easy.
So after that, I knew Tosh lived in San Diego with a bunch of other Hawaii girls. And I gave my husband an ultimatum when I got pregnant. I said, Hawaii or San Diego?
Yeah.
And he said, San Diego. He's actually from here. So it really worked out. And now we get to be neighbors.
Yeah.
And I got to copy everything she did as a mom. What classes do I have to go to?
I was the guinea pig for all of my friends.
Yeah. I didn't have to Google as much as I would have, because I was like, what do I give him first to eat?
Isn't
what do
it
I do
crazy?
this?
Sorry to cut you off, but isn't it crazy that even with your background, right? Your mom was a childbirth educator.
Mm-hmm.
You saw births. You grew up in this world, and then all of your education, and still you're in the throes of it. You're in postpartum, and you're still like, what is going on?
Because our society is not set up to support moms and babies.
Of course not.
You're sitting alone in the dark, silent with your phone, and
Silent if you're lucky.
And the village is just...
Yeah, there's no village.
It's just not a thing.
No.
And so you can have all this education, but then when you're in it,
Right.
and you're, you know, I always used to say, I was very lucky to be able to go to a few births. I was the doula for my sister. It was so special. My mom was my doula. And I got to see that and got to see her breastfeed all 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was around all of that. But what's so crazy to me is that's not usually the case. We don't see a birth before we give birth.
No.
We maybe see someone breastfeed, but usually it's under a shawl. We don't really see it.
No,
we're not seeing the nipple.
I don't talk about what's happening or how it's been,
Exactly.
because until you're in it, you don't even know what to ask, or like if it's inappropriate. It make you feel like it's inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
To be like, oh, how is breastfeeding going? Like,
For
I don't
sure.
if you don't have a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, the only time I saw a birth was on a video in college when I was in some pre-med class, and I was like, oh no. But that was it, the one time. And I think maybe, like you said, I saw people like in public breastfeeding under a cover.
Right.
But
And then what's also crazy is the postpartum healing journey. You don't see that, because people are at home alone, so you're not talking to people about, like, I wasn't expecting that much blood or that much uncomfortableness. That totally rocked me, and I didn't. I mean,
healing process.
it's crazy.
Especially
You think you're
the
gonna
first
go on a
time.
walk, like,
No.
even with a vaginal birth, it's a little less recovery, but it's very.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, you never know. It's
You
however
just never
it
know.
happens.
Right. And that's the other thing, is just you just don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And so to plan for it is impossible.
No.
And even if you have the education, if you've seen it before, you still can't plan for it.
No.
Until you are in it, you have no clue.
I looked my mom in the eye after birth and said, "How dare you? You lied to me.
Oh my God.
You lied to me."
Oh my God, I just got the chill.
I have been in the natural childbirth world for so long. I went into my birth so confident.
Did you?
So confident.
You were like, I got
My
this.
midwives were like, "Do you have any concerns?" I was like, "No.
You're like, I'm ready to go.
My body's made for this. This baby's coming. I can, breathe through the pain. It's pain with a purpose." I had all my motivational tools. I was ready.
God bless you.
Oh my God. We need to be honest with other women about how everything is.
That's how I felt in pregnancy too.
Yeah.
I called my cousin and I told her, huh? Like, what?
What?
Yeah. And I'm sure that's how you felt after your birth too. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, this is what people are doing? I mean, there's so much BS.
And not everyone is doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone walking around right now came out of a vagina.
Yeah.
And that's when you start to be like, we're fucking badass.
Oh.
Because we all did that.
Right. Well, and that's when you really start respecting your mother.
Yeah.
After you give birth and have a child, you're like, oh, bow down.
Even pregnancy, cesareans, all of these things. I just don't know how we're all walking around and we're all okay, because we go through it with no knowledge of what it's going to be like.
It's actually hilarious.
And then it comes and we have no community to help us.
Right. Hence the Mom Interrupted podcast.
Everyone knows there's a huge gap postpartum because we see our OB or our midwife so much during pregnancy.
Right.
And then
constantly checking on you. Someone's always asking how you are. Right. Yes, it's not up to standards the way I wish it was. I wish we, were being a little bit more checked in on mentally, but that's a different conversation. Postpartum, most people are going to 1 6-week appointment, and we have really high postpartum depression in this country. We have people who feel isolated, depressed, so much anxiety, and go figure, we have no one checking in on us, nothing in our society that's taking care of moms, whereas we have a pediatrician that is set for the baby, sees the baby at 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months. Is baby doing okay? How are things going? Who is checking on the mom? We have to pay for extra resources when we have no time and we're healing. We have to seek out mental health specialists. We have to seek out pelvic floor therapy. We have to seek out all of these things. So what's happening is women aren't taking care of themselves. They have no one giving them the tools to be able to know how to even do that. And so we're just failing as a society. And the answer, I think, is bringing the information to the people, bringing back community, bringing back accessibility of information. Right. Like when I gave birth at the hospital, they give you a folder, send out, the social security, the birth certificate, like all these things, right? And then whatever other resources, and then a 6-week appointment to like physically make sure, everything's okay. And that is it. And I guess in that pamphlet is like some resources, but you have to seek them out. No one's calling to check on you. No one's coming by to check on you, right? Like you said, there's no village.
A lot of times you get those, the Edinburgh scale for depression.
Oh, yeah.
And studies show that women just lie on those.
Oh, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just lied. I felt like I was going to get in trouble if I said how I was actually feeling.
Yeah.
Like I was scared.
And what's going to happen if you don't lie? And it's like they'll give you, a number to call. We need to be physically connected to someone. We don't have the time. We're healing. The
barrier to entry is too high for postpartum care.
Yeah.
I have to find my own person, call them, set an appointment, figure out how I'm going to get my baby in the car.
You're just trying to feed your human child and figure out how to keep them alive, and then so you come second.
Right.
Naturally.
I'm just trying to get through the day where I actually brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Like that first month, I just remember being like, did I brush my teeth today?
Did I shower?
Definitely not. Yeah.
Did I see the light?
No. The system that we have set up is not enough. It's not good, and it's not enough. And like you said, we need to have a community. We need to have education, information, a safe place. And just people to not only talk about the hard stuff, but the fun stuff too.
Yeah.
And that's what we want this to be.
And to feel like you can listen to us and not just get our opinions.
Right.
Like we'll share our experiences, but we really want to have people who are specialists in their field, like mental health specialists, bring the information to you so that you can then decide what you want to do with it. Because, as moms, we're faced with way too much information, and you never know what's accurate. And I want you all to be able to come to our podcast and know that we do not judge different types of mothering. We embrace it however you feel you want to mother. We just want to bring the information to you.
And that's the best way to make decisions, is getting the information and then making the decision that makes the most sense for you.
But it's so true what Tosh said. We don't want to just sit here and bitch about motherhood, because there's so many amazing parts of it. We both ran into this, how everyone talks so negatively about it.
Right.
Oh, you're never going to sleep. You're never going to do this. It sucks. You can't get a date night. You can't do this.
Or the mommy wine culture. It's like, oh, I can't get through the day without my wine. And, that's all like fine and dandy. Don't get me wrong. I love a glass of wine. But it just really like brings the vibe down.
Yeah.
Like, I love being a mom. There's nothing I'd rather do. And I want to talk about, the hard stuff, the education, and all of the important, real things that we go through as moms, but also like let's talk about how fun it is.
There's a reason we keep doing it, right?
Right. There's a reason why people keep having children.
It's not just because they're cute.
Not by mistake. I mean, sometimes it is. But like, people keep doing it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so fun. It's so hard.
And
but it's the best.
It's the best. And I don't want people to feel this like impending doom.
No.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And the funny stories outweigh the bad ones.
Right. I mean, look, I'd rather have my expectations be low and be pleasantly surprised, right? Like people are saying, oh, you're never going to sleep again. I mean, it's hard, but like I do sleep just in small increments.
I do sleep sometimes. Right. My eyes shut.
Yeah. I'm taking a nap right now. But everything's temporary. That's the thing. That's one of the best things I feel like I learned the second time around, is that it's so temporary. The hard stuff, right? And the good stuff. And you miss the good stuff.
My husband and I love to travel so much, and people kept saying, you know, travel now because you're never going to be able to travel again. Right. We just took him to Turkey.
Right. You just figure it out.
You figure it out.
And you try, and then you're like, oh, maybe we won't do that for a while. Yeah. Or it was amazing. Yeah. And like, we're going to do that again. It's hard,
but kids are adaptable.
Right.
I love those memes where it's like your kids are going to have a meltdown anyway. Have a meltdown in front of the Alps. Like
100%.
And
have a meltdown in Turkey.
Life.
You don't
take
need
them wherever.
Yeah.
Europe, you see kids out all the time, everywhere. And here I just feel like it kind of isolates moms more, because moms feel like they can't go out into society because they don't want their toddler to throw a plate at dinner or do any of these things. It's because they're not used to those settings.
Right.
So when they are in those settings, of course, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's all about practice, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're cool, maybe they'll be cool, too. You know? And you just learn this on the job. That's one of the hardest things, is learning on the job, because the stakes feel so high, right? Because you're just in it. And you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through the day?
Yeah.
Right? But you just figure it out. And then the next day's easier and better. And there's more joyful moments. And there's more laughs. Yeah, it's like taking them out to restaurants. That used to feel so overwhelming to me.
I mean, yeah, it still does. But also, what are you going to do? Just sit
at home and rot
for your whole life?
No.
It's like, again, it isolates us even more.
Right. And I get it. I'm not saying I don't understand why people rot at home.
I mean, yeah, the looks I get on airplanes at my toddler, I'm like,
I have just as much of a right to be on an airplane as any other person.
Do not fly public transportation if you don't want to be by babies who are citizens of this world.
They're allowed to be on an airplane.
Go buy a private jet. Give me that look again.
Right.
You're booted.
Oh, that's one of the best things about motherhood, is just getting this newfound sense of confidence.
It's so true.
You're like, also, you get to sit there in peace with your headphones on.
Oh
I
my!
have to deal with the toddler.
The guy who did it to me the last flight had 2 kids next to him, but they were like 8 and 9.
Oh,
and I was like, you have forgotten,
right?
And you are not forgiven for forgetting. And then there's the people on the plane,
oh my gosh,
that are sweethearts, the old
I could cry.
Couples who hold your baby,
the
and
flight attendants that are like, let me know if you need anything, and truly mean it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hawaiian Airlines flight attendants, they're
Shout
always
out.
the best.
Shout out to the Hawaiian Airlines.
No, they're always the best.
I mean, Hawaii, that's one of the best things about Hawaii.
Yeah.
So family friendly. So back to it. We want to tune out the noise. We want to bring guests on that maybe have a different opinion than us, that have a different opinion than you, have a different opinion than each other, and bring all of the information here so that you feel informed enough to make a well-educated decision on whatever it is. It's the small stuff, it's the big stuff. We want to talk about it all, from conception to 3.5-year-olds, the whole journey through it all.
And we want to have fun.
Hell yeah. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We're fun. I promise.
And so we can't wait to kick it off.
And we want to do a lot of community submissions.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We can't wait for you guys to submit questions or stories, easy and hard things. And we're here to talk about it all.
Yeah.
And be there for you through it all.
Can't wait for all of our subjects because, as you can see, I'm ready to dive in.
I can't wait.
Here I am.
Just ready to go.
We could talk about this stuff forever, and the reason why this is so great is because now we can talk about all of this education we got, all of the training. We can talk as friends, but other people can also listen and hopefully gain something from it. And if not, we're still having a great time. It's truly a win-win.
Can't go wrong.
You really can't go wrong. And I feel like we're in a unique position because we're moms and best friends, but we also do come from this background.
Tune in.
Yeah. Tune out the noise.
And tune in to us. Mom Interrupted.
We're so excited.